Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
So I know Chad is about to jump on, but I just discovered something amazing. So I'd like you to be the judge. Here we go. This is Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way. Are you ready for this? This rocks. I don't know if you guys can hear it though. Wait till the drums come in. This is freaking good. Wait for this part. Holy shit, huh? That's crazy. I know you're supposed to listen to it like this, but like... Wait, that's... Come on, it's so cool. Waiting for. I just discovered this, and this is amazing. Come on, this is so good. Oh, you guys might not be able to hear it. Hold on. Waiting for. Overflow. By the way, I tried to say I love you from before. To say I'd be there waiting for. This is so cool, in my opinion. By the way, I tried to say I love you from before. So anyway, I'm waiting for Chad to jump on. It's all probably copyright stuff. So, oh, Chad's about to join. Let's see if Chad thinks this is as cool as I do. Hey, Chad. I'm excited. I want to see what he thinks. He's connecting audio right now, so we'll see. So if you're just joining us, this is an Oddball Show. I don't know if all that stuff's going to get cut out because of copyright, because that's how it goes. But that was a lot of fun. So when Chad jumps on, I'm going to talk to him about that. So anyway, Oddball Show is brought to you by Oddball Foundation. I just want to kind of give a little bit of a disclaimer. So when we talk about Oddball Foundation, yes, I'm the president of Oddball Foundation. Yes, Oddball Foundation has a mission of 501c3 mental health advocacy. Sometimes when we're on Oddball Show, I say things that are necessarily not what Oddball Foundation reflects. And that's when I take my president hat off and I become Jason Wright, the podcaster. So just want to keep that in mind. Sometimes I am Jason Wright, president of Oddball Foundation. I'll say, as president of Oddball Foundation, blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes I'll be like, as Jason Wright, I think cheese is just okay. And people will be like, I don't believe that at all. The foundation thinks cheese is just okay. I just want to make that a, I wanted to just, clear the air there. So I feel like I should turn this all the way down because of copyright and stuff. So this is Oddball Show. I'm waiting for Chad to connect. We're gonna do the week that was. We're gonna have a good time. I don't know if any of that translated. I hope it did because that's awesome. But Chad takes a little while to connect because his computer is from 1925. News from the front. Chad Brendo is trying to connect to the internet. Chad's AOL disk is trying to connect to the internet right now. Chad is connecting via AOL startup. He got the disc at the Blockbuster. He's trying to connect right now. So we're gonna go over the week that was of I don't know what we're talking about. I don't remember what week we are actually talking about. But so this is the week that was. Stay tuned. Hey, Chad, welcome to the show. I'm really excited for the week that was. How are you? You ready for this?
Let's get this over with. Awesome. Beautiful.
All right, I want you to see something. I want you to tell me what you think, okay? I discovered something earlier in the day. Waiting for you. Ready?
Okay.
Can you hear this? Can you hear anything? Can you hear my background noise? Can you hear that?
God, no, I cannot.
Oh, son of a bitch. You can't hear that?
No.
Does that mean I was rocking out and no one could hear what I was saying? All right, hold on. Let me just. Okay, if you can't hear it.
Oh.
1 second. Let me just get rid of this for a second. Can you hear that now?
Who is this?
This is Red Hot Chili Peppers. Really sped up.
This is a sped up version of By the Way, isn't it? Yes, it is.
How cool is this? Wait for the hook to come in. How cool is that, huh?
Flea really does sound like a flea.
He sounds like a flea. Exactly. Oh, look, I don't know if you can you see at the bottom, Chad, we enable closed captions. There's closed captions at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. So when I say there's closed captions at the bottom, so I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it.
It says there's rose petals on your bottom or something like that. If it's anything like Google transcripts, then we're in trouble.
So earlier, Chad, I made an announcement to whoever listens to this, so our 0.1 member of our audience, that I am Jason Wright, not the president of Oddball Foundation at this current moment. So, this is not like what the Oddball Foundation, condones. Maybe I guess we condone it. I mean, I don't know, because there's many people in Oddball Foundation. It's not just me. So this is me and you on Oddball Show. This is Jason Wright and Chad Parento.
Okay.
Oddball Show.
That's the weirdest disclaimer I've ever heard. Okay.
And we begin on the awkward note of, by the way, I kind of just sneak. I did kind of a sneak peek of the first Secrets of Skinny People, and it is so good. It is perfect. So yeah. So thank you, Chad, for posting Oddball Show on March 10th. So if you can't check out Oddball Show now, by the way, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay. So even though you can't hear it now, you can, wait a minute, let me rephrase. News from the front. It's going to be great. Let's see. What I'm saying is, even though you can't hear it, you might hear it on Apple or Spotify. You can also go to oddballmagazine.com and see
Click
the real
on the YouTube link.
You click on the YouTube link, yeah. Or you can just go to YouTube. Either way, you can get it. News from the front. Okay, secrets of skinny people losing. All right. This is so good. Okay.
I think this is officially the longest storyline that Jeffrey Fallon has ever attempted.
Yeah, this is so good.
I think I almost said contempted, but maybe same thing.
Yeah.
And his comic for this coming Monday, that being Monday the 13th, is also very good. I'm looking forward to printing that, and immediately after we get done with this podcast.
Yeah. So if you
that up and getting it ready,
so I guess we should say because we can see it, and I think it's a minute laugh riot. But can the podcast listeners can't see it? So,
but the podcast viewers on YouTube can.
Yes, but the podcast viewers, should we just be like,
or you can go to oddballmagazine.com and just be part of the read along.
Right. Should we be like, like that comedian who like animates themselves and like, it's like, oh, this is for the live recording of the CD, and you're like, what is he doing right there? And like the listener doesn't know, but like the select people in the audience know. Or should we just move on and say, you should check this out at oddballmagazine.com, and we should just move on? I think we should.
Rock solid argument.
Yeah, rock solid.
Except
argument.
I'll just say that this is the continuation of the tied up, what should be now the tied up saga of both the characters being under the prison, under the power, imprisoned by random robot. Who might have to start changing his name, and now the captive characters have started a podcast. I feel this was inevitable.
This is the Oddball Show.
So it's called All Tie Up, and they're on Spotify. I haven't checked to see if this is true, but maybe you should check it out. Maybe not.
Yeah, check out. Check out. It's all tied up on Spotify, and if it's anything different than Secrets of Skinny People, I'm very sorry, very, very sorry. And remember,
fetishists, please stop linking us.
She who laughs last, sing a kid's song. Okay.
This is a kid's verse I never heard before. McDonald's is my kind of place. They serve you rattlesnakes, and while you're standing there, they fry your underwear. This is a true verse, because I actually said, is this real? Is she just making this up? I looked online. It is a real song.
So Chad, do you have this available?
The song available, not as a YouTube, but if you type up the first parts of the lyrics, the rest of it will come up.
Well, what I can do is I can pause the recording, and then you can play it if you want.
I don't think it's I think it's like a kid's song you used to sing on the bus. I don't think they were we didn't have recordings.
So it's like Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin.
Exactly.
Chad, did that one exist when you were in high school?
Yes, it's along with Here Comes Jason riding on a polar bear, chewing his aunt's underwear. 3 days later, the crusty old polar bear died. There was a lot of weird ones.
Do you remember the one that was hello elevator? Hello elevator, give me number 9. And if you disconnect me, I'll cut off your behind. You know that one?
No, you grew up in a more violent environment than I did.
Oh, it gets way worse. That is definitely that is.
And I grew up in Bellingham near Woonsocket, so I thought I heard all the vicious verses. But
yeah. The mean streets of Bellingham. I hear you. No, I mean where you heard the nursery rhymes at a very young age. Batman smells. Yes. Robin laid an egg.
That was brutal, especially when you just got finished watching watching a cliffhanger scene from the Batman show on TV 38. It was brutal to hear that music afterwards. It's like, no, it can't end like this.
So I got to tell you something very cool. So if you are a De La Soul fan, Chad, are you a De La Soul fan?
Yes, I am.
Well, very cool. They released their whole Spotify catalog on Spotify. It's probably available everywhere. I don't know. I have Spotify, but anyway, you can get the whole De La Soul category, including 3 Feet High and Rising. And there's once in the very beginning, it says, so they're on a game show for some real weird reason. It's like, how many times did the Batmobile get a flat tire? And I was thinking, like, is that like recorded? Like, I don't know. How many times did the Batmobile get a flat tire? Did you watch Batman when you were a kid, Chad?
I did. I don't remember too many flat tires, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't remember too many lost wheels in reality.
Yeah, that was a kicking mobile. That was a kicking mobile.
But De La Soul, I should mention, actually made actually one time, just as on a whim, if you join their mailing list, they actually released all their music as an MP as a zip file. You could download the entire albums, like their entire discography up to about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And play, which I did, and it was actually amazing. Even better now is that they're actually putting the official videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, the videos are on YouTube.
Me, Myself, and I is in its entirety is now on YouTube, and it didn't used to be.
I remember when I was a kid, a billion years ago, and that video came on, and it was like Me, Myself, and I, and I was like, that is the coolest song ever. I feel like people who know hip hop really like De La Soul. I don't know. Am I like being a hip hop elitist here? If you're like if you like,
I would doubt it. I think you should check him out, regardless. Regardless of any snobbery.
Yeah, no snobbery. Just check out De La Soul, and I mean, you probably have. I mean, this is an NC35 podcast anyway, so I'm pretty sure you have seen. What is it, NC35, or is it? What did we say? Which means no one under 35 should listen to this podcast.
Yes. NC37 at this point, but
we just aged in 2 weeks. Oh man. I age
like 10 years every 2 days.
Have you ever seen Benjamin Button? Have you ever seen Benjamin Button? Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't, but I know what the premise is. Yeah.
I never saw it either. For some reason I never just saw it. I don't know. It was supposed to be really good though, right?
I pictured myself being Robin Williams' Jack, a not as good movie.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because I was reading the book. I'm still reading it, Mind Fixers by Anna Arrington, which is it's amazing. And if you want to check out the YouTube videos of just her talking about like the nature and the history of mental illness, it's really fascinating. But anyway, in the book, they talk about Parkinson's disease, and they actually talk about awakenings. And so I started watching the movie Awakenings, which is a true story written by Oliver Sacks, who wrote a lot of books about mental health, including a man who mistook man who mistook his
he also wrote a lot of
for a hat or something like that.
He also wrote a lot of nonfiction. I believe he wrote a book, Down from Troy, which is autobiography as well.
Down from Troy.
Yes, check it out if you see it.
As in Troy, New York?
Not sure. It's been a while it's been years since I've read it.
You know, I'm from Troy. I was born in Troy. Yeah. You knew that?
I think so.
Were you born in Bellingham?
I was born in Woonsocket.
Oh, wow.
I was born in Woonsocket, Rocket, and launched out of there. The minute my dad could afford a down payment on a house.
Yeah, and then you moved to Boston, Bellingham, and then to Boston, right? Yeah, yes. But yeah, so anyway, Oliver, I never knew that Awakenings was actually a true story. So I actually have it queued up on Hulu, and I was watching Awakenings. You know who's in Awakenings? Have you ever seen it?
I have Robin Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Robert De Niro. Yes.
Robert De Niro. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, in the very beginning, I believe he's the main character. I haven't got very far, but in the very beginning of the you know how he has that vintage thing on his face? You know, the thing. Yes. It looks like a little thing. So when he was a little, to keep continuity, the little kid has a little thing on his face, which, I mean, very interesting, right?
Yes.
But anyway, I'll tell you, because it's not a spoiler alert. Because first of all, I haven't seen the movie, but I read about it in Mind Fixers, and it is not a spoiler alert, because I believe the movie is like before I was born. I'm pretty sure, unless it was like in the 1980s, the very early 80s. But it's about So real quick, and I'm not trying to do misinformation. I think I can get it right. I don't know. This is like a book report that I'm just.
You could just bring up a wiki page and just.
Yeah, I can bring a Wikipedia page. Okay, so anyway, so in this book, in the so far in Mind Fixers and also in Awakenings, the character played by Robin Williams. Rest in peace. He is in his very beginnings, so I don't really know. But the premise of the story is he's with a lot of patients with Parkinson's. So he gives them L-Dopa, which is I mean, it's dopamine. It's a chemical dopamine, and this is in the book, and it wakes them up.
It's not a street drug name.
El Dopa.
Yeah. I think it would be La Dopa, but I don't know. But go on.
It's Chad's graffiti name is El Dopa. But anyway, El Dopa was I don't know if it's synthetic. I don't know, but anyway, it was dopamine, and they gave so Parkinson's, right? According to this Mind Fixers book, is your brain is deprived of dopamine. So therefore you lose like mobility symptoms, like mobility, and hence you like kind of you have Parkinsonian syndromes, very similar to tardive dyskinesia, and very similar because some antipsychotics lower the amount of dopamine that you have. So hence why after prolonged use of using antipsychotics, people get tardive dyskinesia, and it's all related to L-Dopa. Or dopamine. Anyway, what's going on with Oddball stories? By the way,
I was wondering where you were going from this after I mentioned Jack.
You mentioned Jack, which is Robin Williams, and yes. I don't think Jack is a true story, right? Isn't Jack big?
And sad to say, I think I had misnamed the doctor from Awakenings, because I think you said the doctor's name was say the doctor's name again.
Atlanta Falcons. No, I don't know. It was different in the movie. It was Robin Williams. It was Robin Williams. He played a doctor.
Yeah, I know, but I think the real doctor was.
It might have been Oliver Sacks, because it is a true story.
Yeah, because Richard Seltzer is I am very sorry. Richard Seltzer is the doctor who wrote Down from Troy. Richard Seltzer is his name.
And who was the guy? Remember when we were watching? Remember when we were reviewing? I don't know if it's actually
Patch Adams. No, Patch Adams.
That was a sad story. Remember the YouTube that we watched? We watched Nixon. It was so funny.
Oh God!
My A word just went off. I don't know. Did I say a naughty word? It just went off.
I don't think so.
I said Nixon.
Oh dear Lord.
Anyway.
So what's this? A perfectly good oddball story sitting here, getting ignored by everyone. I do.
All right. So tell me about oddball stories with Emma Wells.
If you can scroll down a little bit, oddball stories, for those of you who don't know, is
hold on, real quick. Time out. I want you to guess where you think this person's from, and then I will refute it because you have no idea. Go ahead. Where's this person from?
See, I can. Well, through the power of my mind, I can actually look up the article myself. And
last week you were like, "Oh yeah, he was from Pennsylvania." No, he's from the West Coast. He was from Pennsylvania. So,
good Lord. But
nice. All right, so Beauty Queen. What's this about?
I'm cooking up everything myself, because you got to be like, okay, what's this? You edited everything in like less than 3 hours. Yeah, what is everything? And read back each essay in fucking reverse order. Okay, great. Good fucking God. Emma Wells is a mother and English teacher. Emma Wells is
this is long.
It's not that long, but we do like short nonfiction. It's basically a person coming to terms with I think their age, with their the fact that they were designated a beauty queen at one point, and now the passage of time. I like my iridescent sash, prize beauty queen, glimmers of its sheen reverberating in their minds like a Ferris wheel, and it sports the primary colors. Just a very colorful writer. She sent us two pieces. And I like both of them, but I like this one a little bit better.
I like this one.
It's a little bit more anecdotal, but it does talk about dealing with the past and who you are now. And I do appreciate, and I recommend all the Oddball stories at oddballmagazine.com.
I do too. Primary colors. So right there could be Canadian or
oh God,
or European, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Ice-T had a song called Colors?
Please don't.
All right. But yeah, beautiful. I really like the imagery in this one. This one's solid. So anyway, thank you, Emma Wells, and also look out for her book, Shelley's Sisterhood. It's due to be published in 2023.
Yes.
Yeah, so check that out. And I believe she's also a English teacher. So
yes.
All right, awesome. Moving on. Oh, wait a minute. Whose artwork is this?
This is photography
Jennifer
from
Matthews.
Jennifer Matthews.
Wait, we got a poem by Timothy D. Maguder.
Timothy Dig'em-Upper. Okay, yes. How much can we butcher the names? Let's find out.
Yeah, right.
Excerpt from the poem, All Things Made and Unmade. What remains is still at least bronze and tested with fire. Though often forgotten, grown corrosive green, there are still dreams of old heroes and visions vivid, ecstatic, playing on the walls, molded and incubated under our boiling spring. And I'll just say that I won't do the rest of the poem, but I will say, if you want to scroll back up, it was the first stanza that made me think of the up-close statue shots that Jennifer Matthews has done in the past. And I was so happy that we had this one remaining from a selection she gave us.
Because of the grown corrosive green. Brilliant.
Yes. I doubt this was, I don't know if this was the bronze statue originally, but it just seemed to have the same effect.
That's a really nailed that one. All right, Timothy.
Much love to Magruder and Matthews. Let's go to the Jagged Thought. Let's
Yeah.
have you.
So
Dopamine fix on you. Let's have you focus a little bit on your current poem.
All right, yeah. So Timothy Maguder is an artist and writer currently living in New Orleans, serving as English faculty at Louisiana State University. So thank you, Timothy, for your poem, and thank you, Jennifer, for your photography. Here we go. Do those eyes look sullen to you?
Yes. Now go on.
All right.
No more procrastinating. Come on.
Jagged Thought. This poem's called Jagged Thought 466 Procrastination. This is Jagged Thought 466 Wall.
Yes.
Here we go. Today, I will be better than I was yesterday. If I can't be better than yesterday, I will be gentle to myself. How often do you feel like this? Like the abyss can't dismiss the slit wrist theorist. The misfit little imp can't exist without oxygen. Let the toxins out with each breath. Death of ego, death of self, because there is no self, Stardust. I approach the vibrations, process each temptation, make my mind hum like a singing bowl when I sit in meditation. I have to touch a nerve just like a tooth pull it. Got the magic bullet. It's my neurological pursuit to push through it. When I sit in meditation and contemplation, I see the wall and step through it. And that is Jagged Thought 466 Wall. Chad, thoughts?
Tell me about your process in writing this.
Oh, I appreciate that. Let me see. Now I gave this to you because I had a deadline, right? I gave this to you.
But you gave me everything because you have a deadline.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Let's narrow it down.
But I didn't give you a series of poems, right? This is my most newest poem that I just wrote.
I believe so.
Right. So I wrote this while I was on a meeting. And I've been really meditative lately about things. And I find meditation to be super helpful for my mental health. So, and also the idea of gentleness and acceptance. Because I've made so many mistakes in the past, and even wait a minute, March 7th. Yeah, I think I might have even made a mistake on March 6th that I was trying to forgive myself for. So I think I was like, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday, because we can't be better. We can't be great all the time, and we kind of have to give ourselves some grace, and acceptance. I think is important. Sometimes you say stuff a lot. I mean, it's funny. I have a podcast, so I'm very unfiltered. But I don't know if you've ever been in like a Zoom meeting or something, and you've said something that was kind of stupid, and then there is
not a single podcast, Zoom call, or reading that I have been part of that I have not regretted in one form or another. So
100%,
I can relate,
yeah.
But go on.
So anyway, if you have Zoomitis, which a lot of people do, because they don't realize that they're actually speaking to like 60 people in a room, they might say something kind of stupid. And then like there's like a radio silence of like Zoom silence. And you're like, oh man, I like shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? And then you have to kind of like forgive yourself for that, because it's sometimes, we can't be perfect. And sometimes our input's important, if we're recommending a book or just, have a point, and it's, so I guess PSA, if you are having, if you have something to say it. Maybe there's some value in it. But, if you mess up, and more likely we will mess up in any kind of fashion or anything, just gently, just like in meditation, bring yourself back to the present. And, I can't change what I just did 10 minutes ago, even on this podcast. Can't change it. Right. So there's actually there was a Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. I don't know if you ever watched it. It's great. And he was interviewing this author of a book, and the guy had been in a car accident, and then he had cancer, or he had cancer and then a car accident, whatever. The point is, he had some misfortune, and he also built this amazing company, I think, or managed a bunch of people or something like that. And basically the idea was this: whatever he was going through, whatever it was, say Chad Prento told him, hey, fuck off, and he was upset about it, right? He would be like, oh man, I can't believe Chad told me to fuck off. And then he'd be really mad about it for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And he'd say, can't change it. And that was really powerful, because he was like, I can't change it. I can't change anything that's happened in the past. I can't change it. I can't change how people feel, or I can't control people. So hence, today I'll be better than I was yesterday, and I will be gentle to myself no matter what, because I'm putting a lot of work into my own recovery. So I think that's where I was getting from that. And also then I just started playing with like rhyme scheme. Like I love rhyme scheme. And the misfit little imp can't exist without oxygen. So real quick, that means there's a book called Imp of the Mind by a guy named Lee Bear, and Lee Bear passed away, and it was one of the first books I read about OCD. And the idea of OCD is there's a little imp in this book talking about the conscious nature of bad thoughts. And the imp, right, is a little imp of the mind, and it doesn't exist without oxygen. So let the toxins out with each breath. So like breathe it out, breathe out your thing. And then death of ego, death of self, because there's no self, stardust. I read a book called Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. And I believe he talked about, he basically talked about the idea that there is no self. And then I've also heard that there's a pretty cool idea that we are made of stars, which is a pretty cool concept. I don't know if you ever heard that. But the fact that we're like made of like millions of stars and stuff. So, we're made of stardust and there is no self. I thought it was a pretty cool concept. And then, vibrations, temptation, whatever temptations you have, make my mind hum like a singing bowl, when I sit in meditation. So like let your mind sing when you sit in meditation. Have to touch a nerve like a tooth, pull it. Got the magic bullet. It's my neurological pursuit to push through it. So this is a poem about meditation. And then I see the wall and I step through it. And that's where that poem comes from.
Awesome.
The magic bullet, I believe the magic bullet is actually also isn't that a nutrition chopper thing? That's a nutrition.
Yes. Yeah, my girlfriend used to have it. It's like a little blender thing.
Yeah.
Chopper blender.
Yeah, I really enjoy those. Do you drink kale smoothies? How was your yoga session the other day?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Did you have a kale smoothie?
You can tell I'm really fucking calm. Oh, here we go. Wait, did we go to
super calm? You're the calmest. All right, so now we got some. So, hey, real quick, Edward Michael Supranowicz has been a part of our magazine now for a couple of years.
Yes.
How do you know Edward Michael Supranowicz? Do you know him from Oddball?
He was a cold submission. He was a cold submitter, and he's also a poet. And I'm hoping to have his work further included this coming April, when we include poetry from our artist contributors like Jennifer Matthews, Edward Galt, and a host of others. So I'm hoping Edward joins us on that as well. He recently had his work featured at length in Kissing Dynamite Poetry. So he's starting to really make impacts over and over, a lot this year. So I'm really really happy for him for that.
Chad, I just kind of thought of something. I know we're going to try and put together Liza's Ice's book this year. So Liza's Ice was a past columnist at Underground Garden. It would be kind of cool to like specifically like photographers and artists of Oddball who are also writers.
Would love to do that.
Do like an anthology, and like you could edit it, and I could put together some of it, and that's something we should think about. Yeah. We'll call it Atlanta Falcons. All right. Anyway, poem by Bruce Robinson. Should we explain that reference to people? All right. So, never mind. No.
No. They need to watch more Simpsons. That's all. Most people have Disney Plus anyway. So,
right.
Start with season 3. You'll get the best references. Now, let's go.
Absolutely. Hayes, a disagreement. Do you want to read this one?
Hayes, a disagreement. Picks up the purple glass, takes a sip, then sets it down again. Then looks at it. It wasn't purple. It was a clear glass, but tinted from the light that shined through the evening windows. And even then, it wasn't purple. Not even a hope. For purple, as much as it may have had a violent dream, not sure what it was, but it was a glass full of water. Oh, not full either. And only a glass, as long as its molecules hung together, content with their investigations and their principles, I suppose, the errant change to contain the flood, heedless of any hue, of any cry. I knew that was coming. Unperturbed by any styrofoam incursion, or your wan antipathy to the motley antics of the sun. There's a hidden theme I try to put in every week. The hidden theme here was lack of color. I was trying to look for purple color, but then I opted, since it was a clear glass anyway, as at least according to one speaker in the poem, I decided to do just like a clear, well, not necessarily clear, but more of a black and white absence of what we'd call color in a drawing. So Edward's been doing a lot of those type of drawings lately, so it really worked out well.
This is an interesting poem for sure.
Yes.
Looks like there's two voices,
I think so.
Now I wonder if these are the same person, or something.
Right.
But I like it. This is a good one. And you can tell if you go to Oddball Magazine, and I guess here's a poetry lesson. If you want, right? Like I give you a poetry lesson, Chad, or anyone really. Anyway. So one way of doing it is you got one font, could be one person.
Yes.
The other one could be Atlanta Falcons. All right, and that's just kidding. Could be an italic.
Helvetica? I don't know.
Yeah, Helvetica. Yeah. Anyway, recent work by Bruce Robinson has been nominated. Well, it bores his cat. So I really like that he has a sense of humor. So Bruce Robinson, if you're listening, you're probably not, but come back to Oddball. We'll leave the light on.
Your cat would encourage you to.
Yeah, we'll leave the light on for you, Bruce Robinson.
Next poem has kind of a lack of color as well in the selection. Oops, let's have you. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I was just gonna say I was gonna read Edwards. Oh, this is cool. Let's see. Is this Glenn Bowie?
Basically an empty rose bush with the poem below being blue roses. I didn't have any blue roses available as an illustration. So when photographer Glenn, and also poet as well, also poet Glenn Bowie, hopefully featured this April as well.
Yeah.
When I said blue, do you have anything, blue flowers? I knew he had some, but I was hoping he had a blue rose somewhere. He didn't have anything that he had either photoshopped or taken naturally. So when I saw this empty rose bush area, I said, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the blue roses in past tense.
So that is beautiful. So do you communicate with our artists very often to get their work from us?
Sometimes I go from the hip of what they have. Sometimes I ask them for specifics. And in case of Glenn, he's very quick to respond, even when he's working, building glass elevators. That's his legitimate job.
That's so cool.
And with this poem by Helene Weintraub, it just seemed to work. I said, if I can't do a blue rose, we'll do the lack of roses, for recollection. Dad,
why don't you do a call for submissions for like crazy art from all of our listeners at Oddball Show to send stuff to you?
Hey guys, you crazy artists, do just that. Send us crazy art. Okay, bye.
Okay. This is a poem by Helene Weintraub.
I don't want to do the whole one because it's a really nice little twisty one, but
it's kind of long, yeah.
But I'll just do the first part. In blue roses, in a castle made of stone where bleeding poppies grow, blue roses. Yes, blue. Red and blue and red and blue and purple. Not too much purple, like blueberries in a basket of strawberries. Or raspberries turned. Stop on red. Stop on red. I walk on the ledge of the blue village like the ocean, all kinds of blue hair. Do not put your seashells there. And I'll just stop there.
Wow.
It was almost the Frank O'Hara effect where I basically focused on the image of being not blue roses. Like instead of when he talks about the painter taking out the word oranges, and I didn't need it anymore, even though he called it oranges. It was
I love this poem. I love this poem.
This is a fun one.
I love poems with descriptive like colors and stuff, and this is an awesome poem. Wow. Okay. Helene Weintraub is a creative writer, performing artist, and playwright whose true hobbies are singing in the shower, trying different ice cream flavors, and counting down the days until summer. And
reminded me of Liza Zayas a little bit.
It's got that vibe to it.
Yes.
But it also has this really stream of thought kind of thing where, especially this part where it's like blueberries in a basket of strawberries or raspberries turned. Stop on red. Stop on red. Like,
yes.
That's cool. And it's almost like she was driving, or the driver was driving. The person in the poem was driving and then was daydreaming or something. I don't know. Really interesting poem. I'd love to hear.
Both poems referencing purple, but no purple in the. So even if the theme is weird to me, I at least try and make a connection.
I'm surprised. Yeah. So you actually saw the first poem, and then you were like, and since it was Wednesday, and these are Wednesday poems, and on Wednesday we publish new stuff. We always publish new stuff, but we publish specifically poets that are not columnists on Wednesday, and you lined them up together
as best I can.
Fantastic.
And we have some good ones coming out already pre-selected for, and we just have to announce and let the people know for April, for National Poetry Month. We're hopefully pulling out the stops.
Yeah. Do we have any, we should, is there any calls for submissions for anything that
we need more art than poetry because we have plenty of poems right now, but anyone who wants to send topical work, we're always looking for that. Though we have, we're pretty set up for the next couple of weeks. We have more stuff from David Judson Sills. We have more stuff. We have something St. Patrick's Day appropriate from Shannon O'Connor coming this Monday. So we'll be pretty well covered.
Yeah, we're kind of late on the draw. But remember when we did Parade of Poets like in 2020? Was it 2010 or something? 2011?
I think it was 2012. I don't remember, but
I don't know. Do you want to do a call for submissions for Parade of Poets and try and do it?
We'll see what happens because we might actually have enough St. Patrick's stuff to go with for this week. So we'll let you know.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we did a Parade of Poets like we used to do. All right, we got It's All One Thing, 475, the Pleiades. I'll read it, Chad.
Go ahead.
All right. And this is James Van Looy. And if you don't know James Van Looy, he's been one of our oldest columnists, older than I am, actually. Older than my column, which is,
there you go.
Yeah. So by like a week. Anyway, 7 sisters, 6 stars. We drove all the way up to Franconia Notch, looking for a place where I could stop to see a patch of totally unlight, polluted night sky. It was fall, and as we approached and then came through the notch, the New England fall colors and the early sunset combined to produce a peak of color and light spread out over the rippling range of those green mountains so that the sun set sinking on those mountains and the leaves in their mosaic. Blasted our eyes into an earthly vision of heaven, and as we rode in our charging automotive chariot across the heights of this brilliant living paradise, in the dust still looking back to that heaven and sky, we finally turned and headed back to our urban home, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spinning cosmos and the upended clusters of the mighty Milky Way, but instead found ourselves cut off from our vision by the highway tree line and clouds from the south. Holy cow, Chad, that is not a James Van Looy. That is a James Van Looy special poem.
He's been hitting the stride, no signs of stopping.
Yeah, I mean, he sometimes goes really political, like really, really super political. So this was a nice departure. All right, now we got, I believe we got Janet Cormier, and Janet Cormier's Bamboozled No More, Note for Today. Let's go with this. So this
too many distractions. Life changes things and vice versa. Our world, our universe is always spinning and reshaping. An opportunity to create something positive and joyful. Have fun and remember your friends as well as the good folks you've encountered. As I have been reminded, have a blessed day.
That's a nice poem too.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pairing. I mean, I feel like maybe they were on the same road trip because they were both in a good mood.
There you go. Yeah, true.
So thank you, Janet, and thank you, James, for those poems. All right,
now for your favorite Bruce Wise poem.
It's like I'm rolling the dice. What am I going to get? All right, exactly. Here we go. Rolling the dice. Wise versus Bruce Wise. All right. Okay, so you can't pin him down. So this time he does not start with haikus. So, okay, I love stuff about space. I love stuff about space. There's a haiku. Oh, okay. I would probably read the space one. This one talks about books and Chinese literature. This one's pretty cool. Okay. This from the front. No. More Lotus. He is such a good writer. Passing Through Dimensions. Ode of the Good Father. I might want to read that one. Loose Change. Chad, are you Bruce Wise? Is that the truth? Are you? Okay, I don't get it. This is crazy. Speaking to the Dead. Oh, what is known and how it is known. In harmony and strife. Just she's new millennial prosent and poet.
For those who are waiting, Bruce Wise is a poet who writes in several different identities, all of which are anagrams of his name, Bruce E. Wise.
This is really special. What is this?
Bruce C. Wise, I think.
What is this? 20 poems, Chad, so far?
I think about that.
Yeah. All right, I am going to read the one about newsreel. It has been 1 month since the Norfolk Southern train derailed onto East Palestine, Ohio water, air, and soil. The huge catastrophe remains concerning to the folk. This fiery environmental cataclysm is a joke. Authorities proclaim the air is clean, the water safe, but very few are rushing to a vinyl chloride fate. East Palestine, Ohio was a city of around 4,700, but after this environmental disaster, it is difficult to say how many are staying. And then just for, and I'm just going to do one more, just because I think it's this stuff is so good. This one is about math, by Euclid. On what is known and how it's known, by Euclid Drew Base. I don't know how Bruce does it. In Proclus's commentary that on Euclid's Elements, we learn that Thales was the first named mathematician. Hence, Thales' fame depends upon someone commenting on Eudemus' History of Math that Proclus mentioned once. The commentator, the recorder, and creative one were all important in accumulating what is known as well. The one commented on each made a difference, so finally the writer and the reader could make sense of all of this before it was put into sentences. And should I read one more? Just one more? I'll read one more. All right. Loose Change by Aristotle Q. I can't read that. I don't know what that says. Plato, Cratylus. That change is constant seems to be eternal truth. The universe is in constant state of moving through. Therefore, it seems adaptability is good for health and comfort with both risk and ambiguity for thou. Aristotle Q is a poet of philosophy. This quote from Heraclitus appears in the Cratylus of Plato. The philosopher Cratylus was a follower of Heraclitus who pressed the doctrine of flux extremely hard, denying to things even the slightest fixity. According to Bowie lexi word, fell means fortune. Well, Chad, is there anything else? Is there any other Easter eggs that we should look at?
We got one more to go.
Oh, we got one more. Oh, boy. Oh, look at this. That reminds me immediately of like a Leonard Cohen drawing there. All right. What is this? Why is this on Friday?
I was trying to still have Pride selections on Friday, and this person actually sent something. We've actually had a couple. This individual, well, I'm trying to see.
T Love
Smith. Sorry. This person's put in a story about their childhood, and which has had an imposing grandfather figure. So that's why I thought the sketch from Eric Peterson was so fitting.
Yeah.
I'm taking a look. It's basically a story about wanting.
Sounds like love.
Someone wanting to be a cowboy and dressing up. Give me 1 second here. Something happened here. Oh, give me a second.
Well, this is very interesting. T Love Smith. Should I just read who T Love Smith is?
Yes.
All right. So T Love Smith, they, them, performs love poems for the residents. T Love Smith, they, them, performs love poems for the residents of preservation lands and tree stands deep inside the North Atlantic woods. They write to free the child within who never had a voice. Their poetic prose has been published in a few local anthologies. They are currently working on their first full-length memoir. Thank you, T Love Smith. And then Eric N. Peterson is from Atlanta, Georgia. He's been drawing cartoons all his life. He leans towards the absurd, imaginative, and the surreal, as that's where all the flavor is. And then finally, the one last thing that we have here is the week that was published last week.
We're going through a time warp. Okay.
Whoa.
It's a time paradox, Marty.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I like this drawing of the Oddball Show. I don't think we ever. I mean, the old one was like very simple, but this one is like, it's like beaming out. Like, remember James? I forgot James' last name, but James did this. He was a very talented intern from Atlanta Falcons, like a long time ago, and he was just very. He was just a good artist, and the whole team. I remember putting this together, and I think I think we're pretty happy with it. I know sometimes it looks a little like jarring, but I think it's an awesome idea. So
I did want to actually go back because I lost my place, and just wanted to say again for excuse me again. I lose my place regarding T Love Smith. It was basically an autobiographical essay, basically a flash prose, as they put it, about being raised a girl and wanting to chop wood like a cowboy, and the face was supposed to be basically the face I picked for Eric Peterson was supposed to be a face of the grandfather, who was kind of the disapproving grandfather, but also not totally punishing, but also don't let your mother see you're doing this.
Right.
Don't let your grandmother see you doing this.
Right.
So I did appreciate that in terms of gender identities and commenting on that, and I hope we have more coming for the Fridays ahead.
Yeah, and can I say I really appreciate that you went back that to clarify, because I think that's an important thing in how you. I think it's really cool how you pair the art together, Chad. I think you got
not easy, but I did it.
Real eye for this kind of stuff. So thank you again, T Love Smith, for the essay. Chad, thanks again. You can check the Oddball Show out. You can actually check this one out if you go to Oddball Magazine. Check out the one from last week. Would love to see what you think of the YouTube videos that Kayla has been editing. She's been doing a great job. Kayla Fife from Oddball Foundation is an incredible editor, and she's been editing these videos. So that's really great. And I think that's where we're at. We're up to date, right?
I think so.
Hold on,
we got this over with. Yes, this wasn't as funny. I should have farted more, but anyway,
you should have farted more. Next time, fart more, okay? Please.
I will try. But thanks so much for having me on again.
Well, I mean, Chad, you're the associate editor. You're the best person to talk about this. Don't forget, we're going to have the
Jeffrey Fallon oddball show interview. Hopefully someday. Hopefully before the end of the month.
Yeah, it probably will be up by next week, actually. So check out the Secrets of Skinny People interview we had with Jeffrey Fallon. We'll see how we put that together, because remember we were doing the thing while we were in the audience and stuff.
Yes.
See how that puts together. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And also, I just interviewed Al Galves, the Mind Freedom International president. If you want to hear a very enlightening conversation, listen to that one. That was a real blast to have. And I think we have some more guests coming up in the following week. So anything you want to say, Chad, before we sign off?
I'm good, and hope everyone else is good. Looking forward to the new week.
Yes. This has been the week that was. My name is Jason Wright. I'm the editor of Oddball Magazine. Chad Parento. You are the associate editor of Oddball Magazine. We've been doing this for many, many, many years.
I am. Yes.
I am. Yes, that's me.
Yes.
And Chad, do a quick call for submissions, then we'll go.
Say that again? Do a quick what?
Quick call for submissions. Go.
Send to oddballmagazine.com. Look for the submission calls. Just send us shit. Just send us. Just fucking do it. Make it right.
Send. And then real quick, if we don't get to you right away, it's because we are inundated with posts and we're trying our best. So keep it cool, guys, right? And
have a great night.
Have a good night. And
or a great day whenever you're watching it. Whenever you're listening / watching this.
And if you're a poet and an artist, or anyone who's interested in art and poetry and all that stuff, check out audiblemagazine.com.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
And that was the week that was. And my name is Jason Wright. That was a fun one. I think that was very informative. We had a lot going on to talk about. Thanks, Chad, my co-host, for doing the week that was. Check out audiblemagazine.com. Really appreciate all the amazing artwork, all the amazing poetry, all the good stuff that we get. I get the good fortune to read every week, and just really grateful, super grateful. This has been Jason Wright. Apparently, there's a lot of books here, but there's also Twizzlers in the background somewhere over there. This Oddball show is not sponsored by Twizzlers, but they are in the back of my back shop, so that's great. Anyway, my name is Jason Wright. This has been the week that was. Everyone have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Yeah, all right, bye.
If you liked what you heard in this episode, learned something new, and want to stay up to date on what's going on with Oddball Show, please consider liking this episode and leaving a review. Subscribe to Oddball Show on YouTube, Buzzsprout, or wherever you get your podcasts. And check out oddballmagazine.org for more fascinating stories, poetry, and art. Thanks for listening.